Michael Savage is a well-known lunatic radio host. A while back, I actually ranked the dumbest conservative hosts, and he was number one. That's amazing because that list is filled with geniuses. Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck, they all look like Noam Chomsky next to this guy. I mean, he's that bad. So you're going to get a good understanding of why that is here, why he got number one on that list. Here he is discussing the future under Donald Trump.
I remember when Trump won that night. The next day I woke up, I looked at the sky. The sky looked as though it had opened up. The sky looked clear. It looked. A friend of mine said, it's as though a portal to another world had opened up for all of us. We were no longer living in this closed world that this monster in the White House had created in this free nation. This interloper, this phony, this monster, what he had done to this nation. He had created the greatest spy apparatus the world had ever seen, and he gets away with it with that sick smile of his, hiding behind his wife and children, the nice guy Obama, and the rats in the media like Wolf Blitzer say nothing. You don't know the rage I have for them. You don't know what I would do if I had the power. You don't know what I would do if I had the power. You have no idea. And that's why I made a decision many years ago, because I have such rage against the machine, that I would stay where I am. Even if I had the opportunity to inveigle my way into a government, I would not want that power, because I would probably use it like a hammer on an anvil to get even with these people and what they've done to this fine country. That's how I feel about it. So I'm glad I have no power. I'm glad I am only a voice on the outside looking in. I'm one of the outraged Eddies out there. Let me tell you, I'm not that happy today, but I feel differently today about the country. I don't walk around fearing that it's all coming to an end. I don't walk around looking at little white children, to be honest with you, seeing future slaves anymore. Did you know that? Did you know that that's what I used to see? I'd walk around and look at little white children, I'd shake my head and I'd say, if this doesn't stop, these children will be slaves in their own nation.
What? Why people were going to be slaves until Donald Trump came in and he saved it? Oh, thank goodness. I didn't want to be a slave, so wow, Trump, thank you so much. Now I know that when I'm 43, I will still be a free human being. No, I don't know how anybody can take guys like this serious, but they do. There are people who take him serious. They listen to him and they go, yeah, I think he's nailing it. I think white people were going to be slaves in the future. That's almost so stupid that I don't know how to rebut it. Like, if you were to look at the numbers, the statistics of people in government, what percentage of them are white males? It's the overwhelming majority. Now, I think the majority of the country is white male, or maybe I'm wrong about that. I know the majority of the country is white, but I don't know if white male would make over 50%. But that's neither here nor there. Worst case scenario, it's a plurality of white males. So in other words, compared to every other demographic group, there are more white males. And that actually shows in power. And if anything, it's disproportionate in our direction. It's disproportionate in the white male direction, that there are probably more white males in power than, what the population of white males is. So what are you talking about? We have power. We've had all but one president. There's only been one president who's a black man, and there still hasn't even been a female president. It's been white males. It's an ocean of white males. And this guy's like, come on. I mean, white males, we were going to be slaves. Little white kids. I looked at little white kids and said they're going to be slaves. They're going to be slaves. I don't, this guy talks like somebody who has literally never had a conversation with a minority in his entire life. You have not even any friends. That's usually the dodge when somebody says some racist shit. They're like, I can't be racist. I have a black friend. That's not really the best counter argument ever. Sounds kind of goofy. But he can't even say that because it sounds like he doesn't have any black friends. Doesn't have any minority friends at all. They're going to make us slaves. I looked at the white kids and said slaves. They're going to be slaves. How off his fucking rocker? I mean, this shows you paranoid, crazy, fearmonger, and stupid. And he probably is just making a lot of this shit up and acting. So let's go through some of the other stuff he said there. He said when Trump won, the sky opened up. The sky was more clear. Right. I know. These guys, man, whenever one of their people wins, it's, oh, divine intervention, and this is God's work. Really? So where was God in 2008 and 2012? You say, well, God's omnipotent. He controls everything. You say it. I don't say it. You say it. So God's omnipotent, except what? He was on a coffee break from 2008 until 2016. So the entire time Obama was in office, it was a mulligan. God missed. God was aiming for John McCain or Mitt Romney, and he missed. What are you going to do? So Obama won. So what is it? Does God pick everybody or does he not pick everybody? Well, he only picks the ones that you like. And he's on break the other times. I know. Please. Oh, God, they're so stupid. How is this convincing anybody? So apparently Trump, metaphysical nonsense. And then he said Obama created the greatest spy apparatus the world has seen. Now understand something. He expanded it, so I go after him for the NSA all the time. I put that in the lose category for him. That goes on the negative side of his legacy. And in the future, we'll do a report card on Obama's entire time in office. But he didn't create it. Bush created it. And when Bush created it, you loved it. I'm not kidding. Same thing with Sean Hannity. These guys, when it was created under Bush, the arguments they made were, oh, I guess you hate America. You don't want to protect the homeland if you want to get rid of this NSA spying apparatus because it's just used to get terrorists. But so it was to protect the homeland under Bush and just to get terrorists, and it's the right thing to do. It's for our safety under Bush. Under Obama, oh my God, spy apparatus is looking at everybody as the worst thing ever. We got to get rid of it. It's unconstitutional. Can you be fucking consistent for once in your life? So what did I say? I was consistent. Under Bush, I said, I'm against the NSA spying. That's unconstitutional. That's not okay. Under Obama, I say I'm against it. That's unconstitutional. That's not okay. It doesn't change with the fucking administration and the party in power because I'm not an idiot. I actually care about the issues. I'm not a partisan hack prick like you. And then finally, I love when they accidentally just let their card show real quick. He said, I would use power like a hammer on an anvil. So, and by the way, in the rest of that rant, you only got a little piece of it there. He goes on. In the rest of it, he keeps going, oh my God, Obama is so authoritarian and he's so bad and he's a unitary executive and he uses all of his power without going through Congress and he's, so extreme. It's like fascism. It's like this. It's like that. So that's his argument. And then he goes on to say, you just heard it. I would use power like a hammer on an anvil. He's like, I'm glad I don't have power because I would use it to crack down on my enemies. So what's going on there yet again? Projection. So he talks about the Democrats. Oh my God, they're so authoritarian. Oh, if I had power, I'd be so authoritarian. It'd be awesome. Well, which is it? Is authoritarianism good or is authoritarianism bad? No, in your mind, you love being authoritarian. So you accuse all your enemies of being authoritarian and you let it slip right there, you fucking colossal moron. He's like, oh yeah, authoritarianism, bad, bad, bad. Oh, I'd love to do it. I mean, bad, bad, wrong, sad. Dude, you're the authoritarian. You're the devil you're trying to avoid. You are everything you say is horrible about your enemies. And this is, Michael Savage. He's the guy who said he had an MSNBC show at one point. He said on his show, by the way, he would take live callers and somebody called him out for something and he said, I hope you get AIDS and die. And he would rail against the homosexuals, the gays. Come to find out, he wrote a semi-autobiographical book. It was a character that was basically based on his life, and he spoke about how he's attracted to men. Classic Republican hypocrisy. Get AIDS and die. Goddamn homos, terrible. I hate the gays. Anyway, can somebody put a cock in my mouth? I'd really appreciate that. I'm so attracted to it.